Hey friends, I'm Pastor Jason, and I'm sitting here with Sue Veldheer and Steve McBride, and they're going to share with us a little bit about their trip to Uganda this last November, an incredible trip to New Generation Healing and Empowerment Center with Dr. Betty and her team there as we partner with Keystone Church as we do these amazing mission trips. And you guys had a unique opportunity to help at New Generation Healing Empowerment Center with medical focus. What made you say yes to going on the trip to Uganda in the first place?
My situation was I felt compelled and pushed by God to go on this mission trip. All the doors were opening and all the excuses were lifted. One of those was changes in my personal life. And another was an incredible gift from a person who paid for the trip. And that was amazing too.
Yeah, and that person paid for both of you to go on the trip. What a gift.
That was very
Absolutely.
amazing surprise, yeah. When you first mentioned it, you said something about a medical mission trip, and I was like, I want to go. I've done a lot of domestic mission trips with high school youth group and stuff, but this was something I knew right away, I gotta go on this one.
Yeah. So before you left, what were you carrying with you? Was there excitement, nerves, expectation? What was kind of going through your heart?
It was a lot. We had a few meetings with the Keystone group, with the other 19 people that we went with. In the first few meetings, it was just a lot of paperwork and a lot of you gotta do this and you gotta do this, and getting things lined up with the health department to get your shots, and a packing list and all the needs that they have at New Generation about the things that they needed us to bring. And so it was a little overwhelming. It's what have I gotten myself into kind of thing.
Yeah, I had a little bit of fear of security and safety. I've never been to Africa. And then, when you start to think about a trip, you start to read about that area and different things that have happened and, over the decade. That was my one kind of hang up, is this going to be safe or not? And 95% of the time I felt safe.
When you get there, you get the sense that it is safe, and Dr. Betty and her team are incredible at making sure you feel that way. And
Chris from Keystone Church coordinated absolutely everything from the time, before you even get to the airport, what to pack, all the things like Sue said. But in addition to that, every transportation related thing, all the tips, meals, you really don't have to plan anything out while you're there.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
That was wonderful.
when you first arrived at New Generation Healing Empowerment Center, what moment made you stop and think, wow, God is already at work here?
That for me was literally as we pulled up in this bus at the center, and there were children singing and music and the laughter and everything. And you have to remember, we were super tired from very long flights. So by the time we got there, we felt like zombies. But man, you were just so encouraged by this. And you see the young women who are in the center getting the trade education there, and they're girls like our daughters, just the love that they have for their kids and for God. It was amazing. It was just uplifting, and that just, bam, opened me up.
Yeah, I would agree totally with that. When you get there and they're all singing, little kids with little purple dresses and cute little outfits, and they're just praising God, and it was like, wow, we're here and this is so cool. And it just, the tiredness goes away and you realize this is going to be so cool to be part of for the next week and a half.
So was there a person or interaction that really stuck with you? Someone whose story maybe you are going to carry with you for a long time?
For me, it was Dr. Betty. She's a powerhouse. She's just so cool. And on the way out to her ancestral land that we had a couple hours, and she was sitting fairly close by and was telling us the story of how she came to open the New Generation Center and the things that she went through in her life. And man, so cool. She's just a neat, wonderful, godly woman that just has a vision and just a emphasis on those girls in the center and all the ideas and things she comes up with, and she was very cool.
For me, there was a man at the medical clinic who came in for treatment, and he had such crippling disease of his lower body. He drug himself around. He was literally, I mean, you can't hardly picture this. He's on the ground and using his arms and hands to pull his lower body along, and his legs and lower torso is just dragging on the ground. And it's his everyday existence. I was blown away by how difficult that would be, day to day existing. And he was there to receive the gifts that God brought, you know. It was just amazing.
When we first got there on Wednesday morning, the first day of the clinic, there was so many people there. They had a big tent set up, and there was hundreds of people waiting already. So it's like, oh my word, what have we done? So basically, they triaged them all. They all, said, I want to see the doctor. I need to see the dentist. I need to see the eye doctor. I need to get some labs on. They kind of divided them up, and then we all took turns supporting those aspects of it. I worked with the eye doctor all 3 days. You kind of floated around a little bit.
Yep.
It was so busy. We saw like 1,500 people in 3 days.
It was amazing. And it was nonstop, from the time you open up the doors, like Sue said, they're already waiting and in lines and just nonstop all day long.
And so was that the whole town of Nebby was invited?
And surrounding communities would hear about this free medical care that you could get, and that doesn't exist. If you had to go to the hospital, you would be expected to pay for service and what you got there. So free was...
Yeah, and people walked for miles and miles and miles to come, and were so patient. That was kind of the one thing that struck me about the Ugandan people. They're so patient. They just sit there and they don't really have phones, and they have kids with them, and I don't know.
A little different than we get upset when the doctor doesn't see us on time in 15 minutes, and they're showing up.
They're waiting for hours.
Some had to leave at the end of the day and come back the next day.
But what a gift that community to have that pop-up days, 3 days, 1,500 people in 3 days.
Medications and eyeglasses and all the exams.
Pulling teeth and
teeth extraction.
They had an ultrasound scanner, so they did some of that. And it was kind of sad because a lot of people, have high blood pressure and diabetes and things that you can fix, with some medicine. But the people, they're so poor they can't afford to continue that medicine. So you're kind of putting a Band-Aid on it, I guess.
Yeah. So sometimes we go into trips like this thinking we're going to bring something. And then we end up receiving more than we expected. So maybe you want to share a little bit something. What did you receive from the people that you met while you're there? I mean, we've talked a little bit about that, but maybe more specifically, is there something that you received from the people that you met there?
I went into it with an open mind and not really knowing exactly what we were going to do at the medical clinic, and wide open to the experience. So I didn't have super high expectations of what I was going to do. I was kind of like, just use me however you think I should be used. And I received back was just amazing grace and love, and the friendships that we made, and I want to go back. I want to go see Goffin and Scovia and the new building, how that just expands what they can do there, and the quality of life for everybody, and just see how they're blessing the people there, in the community, in addition to just their local community with the school.
Absolutely. What about you, Sue?
I think for me, something I received from the people, they're so joyful. Like we got to go to a wedding.
Yeah.
So this was like the girls that are there are single moms, and then the baby daddy that reconciled and they got married, and we got to be part of that. That was so fun. Steve and I hung back. We didn't go to the wedding because it was like 2 hours long and in a different language. So
Yep.
We hung back at the center and helped prep for the wedding. And they just had loudspeakers and just praise music. And we just walked around and got to watch them get ready in these huge pots of rice and chicken and vegetables and
Feeding hundreds and hundreds of people with huge pots that are cooked on an open fire. You know,
they don't have a kitchen.
Right.
Like, and there's no refrigeration, but just the sense of joy and celebration, and they don't have anything but just bringing the presence of God and celebrating that was.
It makes me think of the Bible stories of the weddings, that Jesus tells, or was there and changed the water into wine, and like just this huge celebration for the whole community to show up.
Yeah.
I mean, we experienced that in other ways. It wasn't a wedding, but like when they do the celebrations for the girls when they graduate, and the whole town shows up, and it's just food for days for these people, and they're gonna show up because that might be their only meal they get, right? But the way that Dr. Betty and the team just opens up for the community to say, hey, this is a celebration of what God is doing in our community, so come and be part of what's going on here. It's so cool to see.
It was so awkward for the Americans because at the wedding, the bride and the groom came, and everybody's sitting down, and we were like the honored guests. So we had to sit up right by the bride and the groom. The wedding party, there was probably 10, 15 people in the wedding party. They made them move and sit behind because the honored guests had to sit in the front.
It
was
is
so awkward.
humbling and awkward at the
Yes,
same time.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because I know what you're talking about. I've had similar experiences when they show up there.
Yeah, we really felt so much love there and so much appreciation. And
That's
it was
awesome.
cool.
So now that you're home, what's something from Uganda that you don't want to lose? Like a perspective, a habit, maybe a way of seeing others?
I think just how blessed we are to live in America and in a first world country, and even the well that Corinth built on site is so life-changing for them. You don't even realize what a difference that has made. And it's so simple for us to, throw a few extra dollars in the plate. But man, what a difference that makes. So you appreciate running water, that you don't have to use bottled water to brush your teeth, and crickets in the shower, and washing your clothes in the sink. And at the center, they have protein once a week, either an egg or a piece of fish, and we can run to the grocery store or throw this in the refrigerator, and they just don't have that. So I really need to be satisfied with what I have.
And nothing goes to waste there.
No, right.
Right.
Right? You use it all. Yeah.
I was praying more with people, like out loud, and I want to keep doing that. Here, it's well received 99% of the time, right? You're not going to have many people say, "Don't pray for me." So, that was one thing I did there. I felt like that was kind of my role, I guess, in that missionary, role that I was thrust into,
Yeah.
somewhat reluctantly.
Yeah.
But it was very evident that when you stop, bless them, pray with them, it's very meaningful.
Yeah. So often here, right, we'll say, well, we'll pray for you,
Yeah.
which we probably do 99% of the time. But if we take the moment and pray right there, how meaningful it is for people. Yeah. Thanks for doing that.
I was super impressed how bold they are in their prayers.
Yeah.
Like, they are so dependent on God there. It blew my mind. Like, we try so much to do everything here ourselves. They just don't have. They really are dependent on God to provide for them. And that was eye-opening and very cool to see.
Yeah.
That was my takeaway too, with how much we try to control things, in our lives and retirement and all the stuff for our families, and they're living just day to day for a meal, or existence.
So if someone from our church is watching this and wondering if they could ever do something like this, what would you want to say to them?
I would say keep your mind open, and also realize that the barriers that you have in front of you can be moved, and pray on it. One of the barriers people have is the financial cost, and I know that for us that was lifted in an amazing way, but it also made me think that I want to pay that forward. So I will help someone else who wants to go on this trip. I can't pay for the whole thing, but I can help. And I'm sure there are other people that can do that too. They might have a heart for mission, but not be able to go. And so they could, give resources to help make that happen. Or, help family while they're back here and they're on that trip for 2 weeks or whatever it is. Just don't think of the barriers, think of ways that you can make it happen, and keep your mind open to what you're gonna do and what you're gonna receive there.
Absolutely. If you want to go on this trip, like you guys did, and God provided in such a cool way, God will provide, and we will help you as a church.
Yeah.
Do not let finances get in the way or make it be a barrier. We will help you. We will fundraise. We'll do those things.
There's
And so,
support letters that
support.
people can,
Absolutely.
put $10, $20 towards it. And it adds up.
It adds up quickly.
Yeah, don't let that be a deterrent.
Yeah. So maybe Sue, let me ask you this question: where do you see hope most clearly on this trip?
Oh, I love Dream City.
Yeah.
I thought that was so cool. They take in the girls and then they care for them and feed them, but they also teach them a trade. And Dream City, they got a bunch of shipping containers and have turned those shipping containers into a little village almost. It's a beautiful area. They're all painted. They're all cute now. There's a restaurant, a hair place, salon, yeah, a little boutique for clothes and tailoring. There's an internet cafe
In a store.
and a grocery store. Yeah, so they're teaching these girls, to do hair, to learn to cook. Dr. Betty's, I call them Dr. Betty's magic potions, all her little, because she's a botanist, so she's got all these little lotions and mosquito sprays and shea butters, and they're, to be honest, girls, they're amazing. But to do all that stuff and to give these girls hope that they can learn to support themselves back out in their communities once they graduate. It's so cool because it's drawing in attention from the broader community. Like, people are starting to come there, starting to shop there and get their hair done and go out to eat there. And the people in the community are seeing progress in the girls. And to be honest, the mighty men of valor are growing too in their faith and their relationship with God, and it's just a blessing to the whole community.
It's doing what Dr. Betty wants in a new generation, but it is changing generations. To give girls this hope, give them jobs and skills that will change their families and their kids' kids down the line of what it is. I'm getting goosebumps now just talking about it. It's so hope-filled. The vision that you talked about earlier, Dr. Betty has, is it's gigantuan that God has given her, and she's making it happen.
And I love that she hires the baby daddies to work on the construction and
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The mighty men of valor are the baby daddies, and a lot of times, even if they wanted to take care of the woman and her child, they don't have any jobs. They don't have the money to do it, And so, again, these barriers can be reduced by getting them to work there and, earning something. And, that led to that wedding that Sue was talking about earlier. Just amazing how that can be life-changing.
Building up strong women and strong men, too,
Yes.
so they can become a family and support their kids. And yeah, it's cool.
It's really
She's got a good thing going there.
So we're going to kind of wrap up here, but I think one thing, I think is important for listeners to hear and to really being invited in is you guys went on a trip that did have some medical specific I know there's other trips with construction, and there was families that came with you on this trip. Maybe share with those that are listening, if they're thinking about going on this trip, like, do you have to have all of these skills to come on a trip like this?
They will use you in whatever way you can. You don't have to have the medical experience. They usually don't do a medical clinic on these trips. This was kind of a first-time thing, and it was well received. They might do it in the future from other medical people, but it's not a usual thing. And you don't have to have construction trades. You know, that's helpful when you're there and they're building things. But there were times when people just spent time with the children, and some of the teenagers did some education with the staff members on internet use and how to search and do things like that.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a language barrier.
Yeah.
Just because about 50% I think spoke English, but Allure is the other language. But human hearts go to human hearts, and so you don't really, that didn't really get in the way of things. And like Steve said, you really don't have to have any special skills, just a willingness to go and to be obedient, I guess.
Be used by God
Yes.
in that space.
Yep.
And there'll be more trips in the future, and hopefully maybe you guys get a chance to go back. And you talked about that, and I can't wait to go back myself. And there is trips, twice a year, but just thank you so much for sharing, your faith and the ways that God has moved in you. And it's incredible, and I'm sure it'll be with you for the rest of your life, some of these stories and some of these experiences. But I just want to ask one last thing. Is there anything else you'd want to share before we end this time?
I appreciate all Corinth's prayers and support on this trip. We felt so much love back home as we were going through this trip. What an amazing opportunity. Please go on a mission trip, because there's just life-changing in so many ways.
Yeah.
And I guess I would just say that I was aware of the trips that people made to Uganda, and I knew about the center and I knew about the well, but I never really wrapped my brain about how that affected me. I go to Corinth, I go to church here, and then to go on this trip really opened my eyes to how important things like that are, and how impactful it is to their community to have that resource. And it's amazing for the people that give tithes and offerings to Corinth, know that that money that goes to that center is being used wisely, and
100% of it.
just in an amazing way.
Well, thank you, Sue. Thank you, Steve, for sharing your story. And I know it's just a small bit of some of the experience you have. And I would just invite you, the congregation, or anybody else watching this, if you want to hear more about this, I'm sure Steve and Sue, you could take them out for coffee.
How much time do you have?
They would love to share more about what God is doing in and through New Generation Healing and Empowerment Center, but just what God is even doing in your lives through your experience there. So thank you for taking the time to share this.
Thank you.